What's up, fuckers? Sorry, I don't know. I don't know why I started it like that. Whatever. Anyways, obviously, as you can see, I'm pretty glammed out today. I got the fit on from fucking my Instagram post that I made earlier. If you want to go check that out, you can. I mean, it's there, you know. Shameless plug, but I low-key might move to Instagram from TikTok because it's getting weird and interesting over there. I won't hold you, bitch. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about my experience having FND, aka functional neurological disorder, in high school. This was like, to me, harder to deal with than my tics. With my co-host, again, cinnamon roll. Give it up. Yeah. I know. The star of the show. But anyway, what was it like having FND in high school? So I didn't start experiencing like really bad symptoms from my FND until like the middle of sophomore year, I believe, nearing the end of it. But my FND for me, it mainly causes like seizures, paralysis, and like speech problems and dystonia and stuff like that. Also, if you don't know what dystonia is, it would mainly happen in my hand. So my hand, it would just kind of turn inward and it would ball up like that. And it would be like that for several hours. Beans. It sucked. I haven't experienced like bad FND symptoms since high school because FND is like extremely exasperated by stress. So obviously that environment, if you watched my previous video about my tics in high school, you would know that, bitch, I did not have a good time in high school at all. So yes, of course, my tics were really bad then, and my FND was also extremely terrible at the time. Beans. I should start this off by saying the friends that I had at the time, I thought were my friends, but as I was like writing the script, you suck. As I was starting to write like the script for this video and like how I was treated by them, I was beginning to notice that like, ooh, maybe that's not the case. I want you guys to like listen to what I wrote for this, bro. I wrote, and I quote, "My friends back then were as supportive, bitch, as they could be about my tics and about my FND," which I mentioned that I don't talk about all that often, but we are today. Anyway, they would joke with me to lighten the mood. They sit with me when my legs decided to stop working, patiently wait for me to come out of a seizure. This is the sentence that I'm about to say that made me realize, like, these people, you know, I don't really think they were my friends. Beans. They'd joke about drawing penises on my face while I was having a seizure. And that's when I realized, then and there when I was writing that I was like, oh, they were probably laughing at me and joking at me and not with me. But anyway, bitch, let me continue reading it. Which at the time I also thought was funny. But I often coped with humor, and I still do. Looking back on it, it all just felt like a humiliation ritual. The whole damn experience. So yeah, you can see where my tone like shifted. When I was like, hi, writing this down.
You're gay, slut.
But anyway, this is exactly why I suggest people to
Fuck off.
to journal, because it can really help you to like understand the experiences you went through and how not normal it was. But yes, back then I did find that stuff kind of funny at the time. I thought it was funny. I thought that they were just joking with me, but looking back on it now, I don't find that hilarious. I don't find that funny. I find it really humiliating now, actually. But anyway, this isn't the main point of the story. I would have like seizures a lot, and they're functional seizures, so they don't like actually like cause anything bad to happen. My neurologist, he called them like spells. I don't know, he's not the best terminology guy. I'll just say that right now. Beans. But he would call my seizures like spells. So I would just kind of like stare into the abyss. My eyes would like sort of blink rapidly, and I would kind of just like jerk a little. But I was still aware of what was going on around me, depending on how far I was into the seizure and how long it went on for. Beans. But it didn't cause me any harm. I would just kind of sit there and be kind of out of it for a second. But when I would come out of this seizure or spell,
Beans, bitch. I love you.
when I would come out of this seizure or spell, I would like be kind of disoriented. Sometimes I wouldn't be able to speak. Sometimes like people's words would be jumbled if they were talking to me.
Fuck off, platypus fucker.
I wouldn't be able to like
A platypus fucker.
I wouldn't be able to like understand what was going on around me. But sometimes when I had these seizures, afterwards my legs would be paralyzed.
Beans.
Sometimes that just happened on its own too. But like it was mostly after these seizures. I have a very specific story about my FND that I want to talk about. So I believe that this was either junior or nearing the end of sophomore year, bitch. But one day, after I had a functional seizure or spell, my legs had been paralyzed, so I couldn't go to my next class. And of course, for some reason, everything happens to my literature class. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. But anyway, I was trying to go to my literature class, and I couldn't. I was kind of stuck on the floor. So I had to take out my laptop and email my teacher to be like, hey, my legs aren't working right now, so I can't come to class. I am sorry, I'm stuck on the floor. Because between the bells that I was in, there was a break. So this happened during my freaking break, which of course it did. So yeah, I was emailing him while I was sitting on the floor in the hallway. And he emailed me back eventually. He was just like, oh, that's cool. I'm gonna have to email your counselor, have her handle that.
Bitch.
So I was like, okay, cool. So my counselor, again, loved that lady. She was amazing. She comes down and she calls like the nurse and is like, hey, Neo's on the floor, paralyzed from the waist down. So she had to come over. They took off my shoes and my socks to like do like the little leg test thing with like, you know, the hammer type thing. They would test your reflexes. So she used that on me. Obviously, it wasn't working because my legs were paralyzed. Sorry. It's silly. It's a really silly story. I don't think it's silly. I think I'm just like laughing at my expense again, which I usually do to cope. You know what? Shut up. Anyway, let's continue. After that, it wasn't working obviously. So they're like, don't know what to do about that. So they had wheeled a wheelchair in from their office, and they hoisted me up into the chair, and they just like wheeled me on down to this like elevator thing. It was not a real elevator. It was just like this tiny thing that kind of just, because it wasn't going down the floor, it was just going down the side of the thing, because I couldn't use the stairs with the wheelchair obviously. They wheeled me to the nurse's office. And we were talking about, I don't remember what we were talking about. They were talking to me about something. I have no idea. At this point, I had went into yet another seizure or staring spell, as my neurologist called it. Beans. And after I got out of this spell, they were kind of panicking. They had gotten up and they were all in my face, grabbing at my arms. And they were like cooing at me in this baby voice. They were like, "Are you okay? Like, hi." I was just like, hello? What? Like, and they were like asking, "Can you hear me?" and stuff like that. I'm just like, dude, yes. This was like a fever dream. I'm not even gonna lie. And this is where things went from 0 to 100. Okay, this is where things like completely got blown out of proportion. It was insane. So I was just sitting there, just chilling. And they were like, "Have you ever been in an ambulance before?" I was like, "What do you mean, have I ever been in an ambulance?" Beans. So I guess they were like worried. They were like, obviously they were not very educated on FND and what the fuck it was. So I guess they were like, "Oh, your legs are paralyzed and you had a seizure. That means you need to go to the ER." No! She's kind of hot. Like, what do you mean? Why would I need that? My seizures are not actual seizures. Like, they're functional. I don't need an ambulance. Anyways, they're already on the phone with them before I can even get my speech back. I'm just like, what is going on? Next thing you know, paramedics are busting through the door. I'm like, hold up, bro. Just pause, bro. Because I don't even know what's going on. Like, I had no idea what was happening. I'm getting my finger pricked for blood. I'm just like, okay, well, Jesus. So they grabbed me. They hoisted me up on the bed that they like wheel out into the ambulance. The whole ride there, I'm like, what the hell just happened to me? I was literally zoning out the whole time because I didn't know any of that was real. Like, it didn't feel real at all. Like, it felt crazy. It felt insane. Beans. The whole experience was so traumatic, bro. First of all, I'm suspecting that I might have like autism or some shit. That whole thing was super overstimulating. I couldn't process anything that was going on. I was being grabbed just like randomly without anyone telling me that they were gonna grab me. Getting my freaking blood drawn. I'm like, whoa. Too much is going on right now. Anyway, at the hospital, they wheel me in. People are shouting things at me. "How much do you weigh? We need to weigh you. You need to get up so we can weigh you. You need to get on the scale so we know how much medicine to give you." I'm like, medicine? What? I'm just like, what is actually going on right now, dude? Because first of all, don't think I need any medicine. Second of all, my legs are paralyzed. How am I gonna get up? Anyways, after a little bit, I could move my legs, but they were still like pasta noodles, dude. They were literally like wobbly, very weak. I could not stand by myself. They made me get up anyway. Like, they were rushing this. It was bad. Like, the American healthcare system is so shitty. They like hoisted me up and they made me get up anyway, pushed me onto the scale thing. I was holding on to that bar for dear life on that big ass scale. They got my weight and then now they're wheeling me into a room where I just sat in this chair. I don't even remember the room. It was so traumatizing. I forgot most of it. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm just sitting in this chair with this bracelet on my wrist. I think it was like orange or something, and it said in danger of falling, at risk of falling, or something like that. Eventually, I'm in the hospital bed with this doctor. Don't know how I got there. I'm just recalling as much as I can. I cannot remember what we were talking about. I cannot remember what he was saying to me. I remember him asking me questions about my tics and my neurologist, but that's like it, honestly. Anyways, they alerted my family about the whole thing. They came rushing in thinking I was like dying or something, bro. They were crying. I'm like, what is going on? It was all just so crazy and blown out of proportion. My high school counselor was also there, which W counselor, love her to death. I will never stop hyping her up. But yeah, after that whole shebang, I went home. They were like, okay, you're cleared, go home. It was crazy. In my next neurologist appointment after that thing happened, we ended up talking about this like scenario. Beans. He was like, did you feel like you needed to go to the ER? I was like, no. Dude, like, this has happened to me several times before this whole thing happened and I've been fine. Like, it was literally just due to their inexperience and lack of knowledge on what FND was that this whole thing even happened in the first place. So yeah, that's my story. I went to school the next day and for weeks people looked at me like I was crazy. Cause so many people, like, I guess saw it go down or saw like the ambulance or whatever, saw me got like wheeled out or something, and it was really embarrassing. Honestly, but it's whatever, man. Anyway, yeah, that was that. I hope you found that story entertaining or helpful in some way. Beans. All right, I'll catch y'all another time. Goodbye.